Alright guys, got another big box from CGC. I think it's 25 books. I think this was the other half of the 9.8 pre-screens that I forgot to 9.8 pre-screen, so hopefully it's not horribly bad. It's not all X-Men though, so it should be a little bit better than the last one, so stick around, let's see what we got.
Johnny's comic stuff, take the stage.
Alright guys, just a reminder, still got the giveaway going away. Uncanny X-Men 244 First Jubilee and a CGC 9.8. All you gotta do to be entered is leave a comment below, be a subscriber. I'll send it anywhere, so all you gotta do is leave a comment. It's free. I'll also have some links below for a coupon code for BCW. If you're gonna buy supplies, bags, boards, boxes, any of that, if you use that link, you get a little discount, helps the channel out. And then, as always, if you buy anything from my comic shop, if you could use my link below as well, helps me out. Doesn't cost you anything. And again, if you're going to buy something, just use the link if you would. You know, if you don't, no biggie. So let's get into this. So if you remember, I recently had a video of all X-Men books that were, I meant to pre-screen them and didn't. So I actually sent 50 books with that submission. And this is the other 25. These aren't all X-Men books. I'm not sure how they split them up. I sent them all as a group and they make two lots of 25. So I'm hoping that these aren't a bunch of 9.4s and 9.6s. But there is I think about half of this is probably X-Men, half is just other random stuff. So we're just gonna get into it. We'll go book by book, see what we got. First one, okay, this is a new series. I really like this cover. Everything Dead and Dying. It's a good series. If you haven't read it, check it out. Again, hoping for a 9.8. Fail right off the bat. So that sucks. Let's see if I see anything obvious on this. 9.6 white pages. So I don't see anything that jumps out at me on the front of it. And I don't see anything that jumps out on me on the back of it. So I'll check the notes, see what it says. You know, again, I wish I'd have clicked the damn pre-screen. I feel like an idiot. You know, it's not that hard to submit comic books from CGC, so the fact that I messed it up sucks, but you know, shit happens, right? Alright, next book up. So Batman 1, this is one of the blind bag covers. This is the Andy Kubert foil edition. 9.8 white pages. I'm sure this is hard to see, and it's a great cover. Like, all these Batman 1 covers were really cool, but I'm sure the reflection on this makes it really hard to see. So yeah, this is a good one. I liked, like I said, they were all good covers. None of them were not good covers. 9.8 white pages, that was what I was hoping for. Obviously it should have been 9.9 because, you know, it's foil. There's nothing wrong with it. Alright, next up, some X-Men. Again, I'm really hoping for 9.8s on these. So X-Men 302, 9.8 white pages, awesome. So again, just run filling. You know, I'm trying to get all those books. Nothing real exciting about that book other than now it's a 9.8 that I have, that I didn't have before. All right, next up we got another Uncanny X-Men. This is $2.99. I think this is Executioner Song, 9.8 white pages. Yep. So again, not a key, just an X-Men book. And another 9.8 from X-Men boxes. So I'm getting a lot. I have a lot of X-Men slab books. Again, the goal is to have them all, which is, I think, an aggressive goal, but a fun goal, gives me something to hunt for. So 344, 9.8 white pages. Again, the X-Men books, more than anything else in this lot, I really hope they're 9.8s. Again, none of these X-Men books are really keys. They're just part of that run, but I really don't want 9.6s in this range of books, and which is why I was upset that I didn't pre-screen it. Next up, 289, a little Forge and Storm cover. Yes, 9.8 white pages. So again, glad to have it, 9.8 white pages. And like I said, I really hope all the X-Men, the main Uncanny X-Men books in this are 9.8s. I think about half these books, like I said at the beginning, are our X-Men, our Uncanny X-Men main series. So X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 292. 9.6. So that's a little bit disappointing. You know, you never know what they see on these books, especially it looks like there's a little tiny crease right there. You know, again, I would have rather just had it back in a bag and board and then cased in a slab. So it is what it's my fault, you know. Pay for your mistakes. Incredible Hulk 377. I got this out of the lot with the signed Peter David books. Again, hoping for a 9.8 here on this one. 9.8 white pages. I think this is the first Professor Hulk. It doesn't note it up here, but I'm pretty sure that's the first Professor Hulk. Alright, this is a newer book. It's got Peacemaker on the back. Okay, so Batman 1. This is just a standard Batman 1 cover. 9.8 white pages. I'm not sure how I feel about that cover. It's like I like it sometimes when I see it, and other times I don't. Sounds like my dog doesn't like it, so, you know, because he likes to bark. I'm going to have to start bringing him on the show because he's always in it. You just never see him. Next up, another Batman 1, same book. Again, hoping for 9.8. 9.8 white pages. I haven't read the new Batman series. What are your thoughts on it? If you've read it, like, do you like it? Or do you enjoy it? Like I said, I haven't read it yet. I haven't liked a lot of the new stuff written. Yeah, not a lot of the new mainstream stuff. Like some of the independent stuff's not bad, but I don't know. I just can't get into a lot of the newer stuff. So this is X-Men 1. I think this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Really like the cover. It's like the 50s Good Girls style cover. It's a convention exclusive, and I think you can only get in a San Diego Comic-Con. I think there was like 3,000 printed. 9.8 white pages. So there's a couple variations of this. I think there's a virgin one with no trade dress at all. But yeah, that's a great cover. I mean, that's a really, really cool cover. Again, PC book. I like the 50s style. Alright, next up. Uncanny X-Men 358. We want a 9.8. And we got a 9.8. So, cool. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Like I said, for a lot of people, those probably aren't exciting at all. For me, it's awesome. But like, I'm pretty confident that most people are like, it's an X-Men book. Alright, next up, X-Men 343. Again, looking for 9.8. 9.8 white pages. Awesome. I love when they have stupid stuff like Deathbird and Filenex appearance. Like, is that really worth talking about in the notes? You know, I get if it's like Spider-Man, you know, like a main character, but like Deathbird's not really a, you know, I guess. Don't know which way to look because the back's the same as the front on this one. So, love this Detective 1100 Jock variant wraparound cover. And again, you'll see if you haven't seen this book, you'll see how I got it mixed up front and back. So 9.8 white pages. So there's the front and there's the back. So it's almost just like a reversal. I really like that cover. It's very minimalistic but cool at the same time. I think I sent 2 of those in. As always, you know, you're always hoping for 199 on them, but very uncommon to get that. So 1100, same book again. Hoping again for a 9.8, and we got a 9.8. So again, you know, I've said this in the past, my second favorite character, or second favorite comic besides the X-Men is Batman. Alright, we'll keep going here. I got a new bag, so they're a little snug in there. Alright, another Batman 1 foil. This is Aja foil. So again, it's kind of hard to see, but neat cover. 9.8 white pages. Again, as I always say, should be a 9 or 10, but I'm not complaining. This is probably my least favorite of all the covers, but I did like this. These all came in the blind bags. I don't dislike that cover. It's just my least favorite of the group. All right, next one up. Again, Kubert foil, same as before. Again, I really like this. This is probably one of my favorite covers. So, again, hoping for a 9.8. Ooh, better than a 9.8. Look at that, guys. 9.9. You've not seen that before. Well, that's cool. You know, I always say, I don't know why it's not a 9.9 or a 10. I still don't know why it's not a 10, but I'm not going to complain. The 9.9s are few and far between. I think this is the third one I've gotten. So that's awesome. Yeah, pretty stoked on that. Maybe there's another one. Yeah, I think there's one or two more foils in there. Again, same book again. Cooper foil. Come on, 9.9. Nope, 9.8. So again, great cover. So we got two 9.8s of that and a 9.9. I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty awesome. All right, looks like we're back to the X-Men. 293. Again, 9.8's the goal. 9.8 we got. So Colossus, the best X-Men. If you're not aware, he is the best X-Men. He's my favorite. That's a cool Andy Kubert cover too, actually. Same guy did this. As this. Same artist, 2025, 1992. So it's almost 30 years ago. Actually, more than 30 years ago, right? Yeah. My maths aren't that good. Alright, X-Men 294. Come on, 9.8. These were poly bags, so they're a pain in the ass. Oof. 9.2. Yeah, I can actually see this has got a big poly bag crease in it. I don't know how I didn't catch that, or if I pressed it and maybe it had some reversion. So yeah, these were all poly bagged, and if they sit in that bag for a long time, what happens is they stack on top of each other, and that little strip of overlap, it starts to create a dent in all the books, especially the ones towards the bottom, because there's just stacking of that extra thickness all the way through. So that looks like that's what happened here. Again, that's my own fault. I should have, one, I should have done the 9.8 pre-screen, and two, I should have waited to see if that reverted after I pressed it, because sometimes once you press a book and then you take it out, press, it looks good, and then a day, 2 days, 3 days later, it starts to revert to whatever those defects were, whether there's a bend or like that, and for that, there, you know, the bag crease. So it's always good to kind of books like that are substantial chance for reversion, which bag creases are. You should let sit for a couple of days before you do anything. And again, I might have let it sit and then forgot to just double check it. Again, my fault. All right, X-Men 295, again, hoping for a 9.8. Oh shit, 8.5. No, there's no way I sent an 8.5 in. I mean, this might have a light poly bag crease, but not as substantial as this one. Yeah, there's no spine tick. I don't know what they did on this. Maybe there's something inside that's messed up. Yeah, I'll double check that. Again, I'll check the notes. That's really disappointing, an 8.5. Again, had I clicked the 9.8, we wouldn't have to worry about it, but I did not. Yeah, it sucks. Just a waste of money, you know, because I'm not going to keep it in that case. I'm not going to keep an 8.5, you know, X-Men book from the 90s. All right, so 297. Let's hope I didn't mess this one up. All right, 9.8 white pages. So that's good. Song's End. Again, not as good as the Fatal Attraction storyline, but not a horrible story. The Executioner song. Let's see. Feels like we got like 3 left. Another X-Men. This is Annual 17. I was hoping for a 9.8 on this one as well. Not a 9.8. Wow, that sucks too. And there's like a, well, that's just some fuzz. So let's not sure what was wrong with this one. Again, it's a square bound. It's kind of hard to screw these up. They usually you can tell real easy on the modern square bounds if there's an issue. And I see nothing. I see absolutely nothing wrong with this. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look at the notes. mean, it looks like there might be a light finger bend up here, but that wouldn't take it to a 9.0. And it's hard to tell in the case if it's actually got a finger bend or not. Yeah, I don't know. I'll check the notes. This is the first appearance of the Executioner. Not really a key, but I mean, it is a key. It's just a minor key. I think the only time he really showed up in the comics was through the Executioner song. I don't really had any appearances other than that. All right, Uncanny X-Men 298. So again, please be a 9.8. Damn it. Not a 9.8. Again, like I said, my fault. Yeah, this book, I don't know, it's got like some weird like wave to the top of it, and there's a little finger bend on the back corner, so I can press that and get that out for sure. It just sucks that I sent it in like that. You know, and again, I don't fault CGC for stuff like that. I do fault them for plenty of stuff. That's my fault. That's on me. You know, I need to do better quality control before I send this stuff in. Make sure I'm clicking all the right boxes when I do. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. All right, last one. This is the last book of the lot. Let's hope for a good one. 356. Please be a 9.8. All right, 9.8. Good deal. So a little bit later book. This is late 90s. Yeah, you know, so all in all, I'm not super disappointed. You know, I'm really happy you got a 9.9. That's awesome, right? You know, that's unexpected. You always hope for 9.9s, but you don't ever expect to get them because they're so few and far between. You know, and I've said it before, I get lots of books that I don't know how they're not 9.9s. And then the 3 9.9s that I have gotten, one I completely was a 9.9. It was perfect. I mean, it was flawless. The other one I got was the ASM 300 foil facsimile, and it was, I had a 9.8 and a 9.9, and the 9.8 looked better than the 9.9. So I'm not sure, you know, how they do that. What the mindset is. So I got a 9.8 and a 9.9 here. Let's look at the two and see if there's anything better or worse on one than the other. I mean, they look identical. You know, they both have no bindery tears. You know, they both have no marks at the staples. The corners are crisp. I mean, yeah, I just don't see anything different in the two of them. I'll be honest, the 9.8, again, even on the 9.8, you can't, there's no way you'll be able to see it, but this bottom corner has the tiniest of bindery tears, and this one has no bindery tears. So, you know, who knows? Like I said, I'm not going to challenge it. It is what it is. Happy to have it. I'm not going to complain at all. So thanks again for watching, guys. You know, hopefully this wasn't super boring. You know, like, I know it's a lot of X-Men stuff. You're going to get that anytime you come to my channel. It's very, very uncommon for me to do an unboxing from CGC and not have at least one X-Men book in it. So hopefully it wasn't bad. You know, like I said, leave it at the beginning. Leave a comment. Be entered for the giveaway. You win you an X-Men book because, you know, they're the best. And it's a good one. It's, you know, it's first appearance of Jubilee, so it's not a bad book. Use the links below for the affiliate links if you can shop or buy at those places. It does help me out. And as always, guys, collect what you love, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
A hero rises in the night's embrace, with shadows dancing on a masked face. Pages turn where legends collide. In this world, we take a wild ride. Claws flash out a metal screen. Cave shadows chase a fleeting dream. Webs entangle up in Batman glides through the moonlit sky. Through tangled webs and hearts made of gold, stories unravel and truths are told. Villains rise, but they always fall. Heroes stand strong, they answer the call. Spandex suits and a will of steel, a world of fiction you can almost feel. Stories that shape a hero's plight, burning bright in the darkest fight. Johnny's comic stuff take the stage, bright and bold from panel to page. X-Men battle in the stormy tide. Batman glides through the moonlit sky.